Hey everyone, today I want to do a part 2 of why I still stand by my statement that the X-T30 is the best camera to purchase in 2019. Things I do for a food photo. So let's start the discussion around if you're a beginner photographer, because the thing is, people are super critical about me saying something like that because they're pros and they have fancy cameras. But what if you're moving from a cell phone, you're buying your first camera, what then? Like, I remember Mercedes-Benz released the B-Class like way back, and I was reading an article in the car magazine and they were like, it tries to sit on a lot of chairs and it does them all really badly. You know, like technology has evolved to such a point where we have the means to make a jack of all trades product like an iPhone, which does everything really well. And I think the X-T30 is one of those cameras, you know, compared to the A6400 and all those cameras that are in the same kind of category. Obviously I'm a Fuji guy, so there's certain things that push me over the edge to choose the Fuji, but I really believe that it sits on all the chairs well. It does color well, it does autofocus well, it takes brilliant photos, it takes wonderful video, it has good onboard audio. There are just so many factors that it does, and it does well. There are a couple of downsides, and you can watch my other video for that, but you know, overall, every piece of technology has downsides, but overall, it sits on all those chairs very, very well. It's future-proofed, so if you buy it now, you're covered for many, many years, because it is pretty much a pro device. It just doesn't have the pro body compared to the X-T3 and a few other features. It just is super well priced. And I spoke to the dealer here in George, and I said, can't they do a good deal for me on the X-T30? And Fujifilm came back and said, it already is a good deal. And I think what they've realized is they've made an incredible camera at a very affordable price, and to bring the price down anymore would actually just be bad business practice. It starts all the way from a full beginner who puts the camera on 100% auto all the way to a professional. So from that perspective, it just is a wonderful, complete solution. They're trying to make it more and more like an iPhone, which, I mean, obviously can't compete with Apple right now, but it's got that, it's so easy to use. And let's talk about the specs for a second. Obviously, photography, you know, I mean, compared to the X-T3, which is their flagship model, it's pretty much the same. There's a few extra bits and pieces, but where it really changes and differs is video. So your quality and everything is pretty much the same. It's got log, it's got 120 frames per second. It shoots in 24 frames, 25 frames, all those things. You've got the full range of all of that. It doesn't shoot, however, in 400 megabits per second, which the X-T3 does. So the X-T3 is incredible on that regard, where, you know, you're almost heading into sort of cinema grade footage. This doesn't do 400 megabits. It does 200 megabits per second, like my XH1. There's a few more options on here than my XH1. I would say the video features are actually better, and again, to say the autofocus in video, my XH1 doesn't allow for eye autofocus, this allows for eye autofocus. So overall, from that perspective, it's really good. So you could say, well, you know, where your argument starts to fall flat for camera of the year is it's, you know, the X-T3 is the camera of the year, but you see this is cheaper. And how many people who buy these cameras are actually using 400 megabits per second? It's there, but are you going to use it? You know, so for me, this is a happy medium, and I think technology has gone so far that the pros and the guys at the top of their game kind of lost perspective a little bit of what real people need. And what I feel real people need is the X-T30. I just love it. It's a mocktail. It's virgin, so it's rosemary, tonic water and lemon. I'm not drinking alcohol in pre-12 o'clock. Let's talk about the form factor. That's something that I get quite a few comments about. It's too small. In trying to make it a more minimalist, fluid camera, and also trying to make up for the fact that it's tiny, they've done away with the D-pad. They've relied more on their little joystick, which a lot of people quite enjoy. It's got you push it in to select, up and down, side to side, just like a D-pad replacement. So almost on all their cameras, it's redundant to have this and the D-pad in many ways. So they've just done away with it, given more real estate for your thumb. And then you've got the swipe feature. So I've got up for resolution, side for white balance, the other side for color profile, and down I've got to go into slow-mo because I use it a lot in video. So that is your compromise there. You know, like I said in the other video, when you first drive an automatic moving from manual, you need to plant your left foot, depending on what country, right foot down, and use your other foot to drive. It's the same as this. Put your thumb down and don't stray too much because you're going to start touching buttons unnecessarily. That being said, the more I've used this now, because I've had this for quite a while now. In starting, I was saying, you know, the size isn't a big deal, you can compromise, and I did. At the first, I was fine with it, but it's still an adjustment. Now that I've had it for a while, I'm finding myself picking this camera up more than my X-H1 for personal stuff, and now for today. Like, I'm vlogging on my X-H1 obviously, but also I could vlog and do the photography with my X-H1, but I'd rather take the photos with this because it's small, compact, light, and easy to move around. So I look like a casual photographer when I go to clients because I'm, you know, just, I don't look super professional, but it really fits into a person's lifestyle really well. And so I think using a smaller camera is more of a mindset shift, because you don't want to pitch up to a wedding with this tiny camera and go, I'm ready to shoot your cinematic wedding video or whatever. But it's more than capable. It's more capable than my X-H1, but my X-H1 looks the part. So, you know, that's a mind shift. That was a very long speech to say that the size is not as big an issue as I think many people are making it out to be. So perfect example, I've got to rush off now. I'm taking photos today. I'm only taking my X-H1. Actually, I don't think I'm going to take my X-H1 because I'm not going to be vlogging. I'm just going to take this because it's easier. So I think I've made up my mind in terms of what I'm going to buy once I've saved up enough money. I really just wanted to make this video to convince other people who are on the fence that this is an exceptional camera. And I think also something that you might be afraid of is Fujifilm lenses are expensive. Competitor lenses are also expensive. You know, Canon has their cheaper lens range, but those lenses aren't fantastic. And Fuji have got a couple of cheaper lenses. So they've got a wide angle of 15 to 45. They've got a medium one, I think it's an 18 to 55, whatever, and they've got a zoom, and those are cheaper lenses. So they've got a lens range to suit your budget. So overall, that's why I say I really think Fuji is perfectly positioned to be the best camera for the year, which is the X-T30. Go check it out at your local camera shop. I'm not being paid to say this, I just really believe in the product. Go check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like the video for future things. See you in the next one.